Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Better Call Paul Live. I know I've been out for the last few weeks, but it's just been a crazy summer so far. I'm glad you stuck with it. I'm glad that you're in. So why don't I just there's a lot of things that we have to catch up with, so why don't I just get right into it. The videos that have been launched, I know that I put in the post last week. However, it's been the last several weeks, but here's some of the things that were launched over the last couple of weeks that you might have missed with the appropriate links with it. First of all, we did a video introducing you to our newest video production intern, Elena Petrovich. She's doing a wonderful job, so learn a little bit more about her and her interests and what she thinks of so far about working here at UnoDeuce Multimedia. And after that, and the next #BetterCallPaul was our June 2017 recap, in which we went over all the videos that we released in June on our YouTube channel, our client YouTube channel, that is. So, well, the next one here is the Central Michigan PRSA. However, we already released that one, so let's move on down to the Nimble Sports. We released the last two Nimble Sports that we did, the tutorials or unboxing videos, if you will, for their adjustable brace balance beam and their low steel brace balance beam. That was fun videos to do, starring our friend Courtney Mackey, allowing us to come into her home and look at how folks can adjust these pieces of equipment easily. The next one is an instructional video that we produced in the spring for a new invention called the Slugger. So check that out. If your child is into baseball, softball, or whatever, this will help with their swing, help with them figuring out the mechanics with that. It's a really cool, simply put together device. We did an unboxing, a similar unboxing video for that, but yeah, so check that out. Also, we went on to the Consumers Professional Credit Union. We produced a video called Makes It Easy for Their Members, in which we went around talking to different people in different vocations who use CPCU and how it works for them. It's a really cool video. Look for a part 2 coming out sometime later this summer or early fall. And next is the first in a series of testimonials for Daystar Communications. This one with, everybody knows him, Tony Young of the Young Automotive Group, and talking about why he chose Daystar Communications for and Daystar Fiber for his business, Young's Automotive Group in Owasso. So check out all those videos. Please share them, comment, like, all that stuff. We have 2 YouTube channels, the #BetterCallPaul, which is the one that revolves around me and what we do here internally, as well as our UnoDeuce Multimedia channel, which focuses on our client work. So, what happened on the blog over the last few weeks, I should say. I reposted one of our favorites, your video can be great PR. So that is exactly what videos are really for. Good public relations. They are a marketing tool. They can be an advertising tool, but it's really about your brand, and it's really about setting your brand apart. And that's what videos can really do. Show why you do something, not just how and what, but show why and who you work with and who works for you. Next is once again a podcast from the Second Brain Collective. Second Brain Collective, this time focusing on Chad Jordan, the owner and founder of Cravings Gourmet Popcorn. He's got some great stories about how he got into popcorn, why popcorn is his thing, and so on. So check that out. And lastly, the Capital Gains, Lansing Capital Gains, released an article talking about my company, UnoDeuce, joining forces with IKEA Web Solutions, CJ Buck Consulting, and Glow Social Media under the Second Brain Collective umbrella, and how we can use our different techniques and styles and strategies to help organizations, large and small, move forward without having to pay a big bill for an agency. You just choose what we have to offer, or choose what you need off the things that we have to offer. So check that article out. Really well written by Ann Kammer, and we really appreciate that type of publicity because we're trying to do some new things here in the area. As for the other channels I got, well, there's always the RideHomeReviews. It's pretty popular. People like when I put those out. So this week I'll be reviewing Spider-Man Homecoming. Last week I reviewed the excellent movie, a must-see for everyone, Baby Driver, which was a huge surprise. I think the biggest surprise hit of the summer so far. Or it should be the only surprise hit right now. But I'm looking forward to seeing Spider-Man. Heard good things, so check out that review coming out later this week. So, what's happening in the world? Where am I going to be at? Where in the world is Better Call Paul? Well, tomorrow morning, bright and early, is the Shiawassee ChamberAM meeting. So I will be there at the Big Boy in Owasso, starting at 7:15. So if you feel like getting up really early, there you go. Big Boy, Owasso, Shiawassee Chamber of Commerce. And on Wednesday morning, another early morning, but not quite as early as the one before. 8 a.m., Caerusnet Lansing Green Team at the Fox 47 building. Spotlight presenter, my friend Kristen Creighton of Fahrenheit Massage. Great massages. So check that out. Please, I invite you to join me as a guest. Check that out. It's a nice little networking group. I get a lot out of it, and I know you will too. Later on that day, I'll be presenting at the Michigan Society of Association Executives OrgPro 2017. I will be doing a talk on how using video to show your why. Exactly what I said in the previous earlier on in this video. It is about using video to document and also show why you do what you do and what the benefit is for those you want to join you. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Looking forward to joining them. That's going to be a lot of fun. And finally, on Friday is the Meridian Area Business Association Member Mixer. Another early one. Once again, starts at 7:15. This one's at the city limits in Hazlitt, right there on Saginaw Highway. A little bit closer than the Big Boy in Owasso by about half an hour or so. But yeah, come join me there. I'd love to see you join up, and of course, if you're around in Lansing this weekend, there's the Scrap Fest happening in Old Town. So check all those out. Those are the events coming up this week. Scrap Fest, check that out at Old Town Commercial Association or iloveoldtown.org, and so on and so forth. Now, moving on to the rest of the world. Here's what's happened in the news in the last couple of weeks. Number one, Vimeo out there. They're canceling their SVOD service and original programming plans and dissolves that team. Well, it's hard to compete with the Hulus and the Netflix and the Amazon Primes and now Apple out there creating original programming that's on demand. Vimeo just wants to shift their focus, go back to their roots a little bit, something that we did and others that I know have done and been successful, and highlight and really be there for the independent filmmaker and videographer. So I think it's a smart move on their part. That way they can really have that niche that YouTube might not always fill, and be that in-between for independent filmmakers who don't get to Netflix or need a more cost-effective way to get their films and videos online. So smart move by Vimeo. Feel bad for the people that had to be cut and let go, but of course they're always going to land on their feet. So there you have it. Next, speaking of on-demand television and original programming, Facebook is ready to drop $3 million an episode. $3 million an episode. That's heavy-duty money. That's like House of Cards style money on TV style shows. So Facebook wants to get into this game. Don't know how that's going to work so well, but we'll see what happens. They've been able to do things. I'm not sure that this is their bailiwick, but we'll see what happens. It really does depend on the show, but a lot of people don't like to use Facebook, and Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, well, Netflix and Hulu especially, that was their market, that was their target. So we'll see how this works. I mean, that is a lot of money to work with. So if you have a 13 episode season, that's a lot of money. So it's hard to turn that down. And lastly, speaking of, cutting staff, SoundCloud, their business model is struggling a little bit, so they've cut 40% of their staff. They're having a difficulty competing with Spotify and Apple Music, Amazon Music, stuff like that. They have to figure things out, so they're going to be going back to their roots a little bit too and trying to figure out how they can stay afloat against such major competition. And that brings us to the question of the week, finally. So the question of the week is, can I use YouTube videos in my website? Yes, you can. However, the caveat to that is you need to attribute that video. If it is not your video that you created, just like photos, you need to make sure you attribute that video, pay homage to who created that video so they get the credit for it, because you're using their content that they created to get people to your website. So you need to give them credit. I know a lot of people don't do that. However, that's the right thing to do because somebody went out there and did the work and you're benefiting from it. So give them a shout. But YouTube videos are mostly embeddable unless they're private for the use on websites. So absolutely. There you have it. Better Call Paul, back again. So I'm going to try not to miss a week, but you never know. But I appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, share, comment. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question that you want answered that's burning about online video in general, things you'd like to use, please, you know what to do. You better call Paul. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.